this is Mr. Tiebox123 and this is going to be my unboxing and installation instructions for the Zagg Invisible Shield for the Apple iPad 2, and this is going to be the back section. So this is the packaging that it comes in here. Obviously it gives you the name on the front here, and then we can see here that this is for the Apple iPad 2 and it's the back section. If we just flip this around, on the back it's got a whole load of information about the product itself. It tells you it's durable, invisible and scratch proof, and obviously most of you will have already heard about the Zagg products and the actual fantastic nature of the Zagg products and how well they work. So let's just see what we get inside the package here. So the first thing we pull out is this packet here, and we've got the application solution, which is the spray that we're going to be spraying on the iPad, and the back protector later on that actually does the sticking and also allows you to maneuver it around so you can get it in the right position. We get some installation instructions here. We get a plastic squeegee and also a microfiber cloth to clean it down. Also in the packaging we get the actual invisible shield itself. So to you it probably just looks like a bit of paper on camera, but actually it's got a sticky bit of plastic on the front of it that we're later going to pull off and apply to the back of the iPad 2. It's got a small cutout here for the camera, and the plastic protector is also shaped obviously to fit perfectly around the iPad 2. So I'll just get myself in position here and get ready, and then we can get on to the installation instructions for this Zagg Invisible Shield for the iPad 2. Okay guys, so I'm all ready to go here. I've removed the plastic protector from the paper, and using the applicator solution I've really heavily sprayed a whole bunch of it onto the applicable side of the back of the iPad 2 Zagg protector, and now you just need to lay this in the correct position as close to as you can using a whole bunch of the application solution. Don't worry about using too much of it, just put on a whole bunch of it, and then later on we'll be able to get rid of that when we use the squeegee. The more you put on, the easier it is to actually maneuver around to get it into the right position. So don't be worried about using quite a lot of that spray. Obviously don't go overboard because you're going to completely drench it, but you know, make sure you use enough that it's completely covered and that you can actually move this screen protector around the back of the device. So I'm just going to go away now and position this in place as best I can, and then we'll come back to it in a second. So once you've got the invisible shield into a reasonable position and it's fairly well aligned, once we've done that we can start using the squeegee to actually remove a whole bunch of the bubbles and the liquid that we've got stored up in the back. So just from the middle, just work your way out to the edges. Don't be too rough with it, just push out the bubbles and the liquid. It doesn't need much pressure at all. Just work your way out that way until you've got it as smooth as possible. If you do get bubbles in there that you can't get rid of, little ones for example, don't worry too much. As the solution dries, those bubbles usually completely disappear, so don't worry about that too much at all. At the moment you're just really trying to get it as sort of neat as you possibly can while it's in this kind of state. It's very important as well that before you start this you give your hands a really good wash before you start touching the invisible shield itself, or you might end up getting fingerprint marks onto your invisible shield before you've even started. So I'm just going to carry on squeegeeing out as many of these bubbles and bits of liquid as I possibly can. And then once I've got most of those bubbles out, I'm just going to use the microfiber cloth to just go around and just dry up any bits of loose residue we've got from the application solution, and just try and smooth out all of the corners. And there we go, that's the finished article. You can see that it's a perfect fit. Mine's come out really well actually. It's got very few bubbles in it at all. And now we just need to leave this turned off for 24 hours, they say, to wait for the actual solution to set. So basically, cutting down the instructions again once more. First thing you need to do is make sure you wash your hands very, very well under the tap with some soap. Once you've done that, you need to spray some of the applicator solution onto your hands, so when you take it off of the paper you don't get any fingerprints on it and it doesn't stick to you. Once you've done that, you can peel the plastic off of the bit of paper that protects it and then spray quite thoroughly with the application solution all over the front and the back of the invisible shield itself. Once you've done that, you need to place the invisible shield applicable side down onto the back of your iPad 2 and manoeuvre it into a decent position. Once you've got the position aligned, you can then use the squeegee to push to the sides, on the tops and the bottom, all of the bubbles that you might have. And then once you've done that, just to perfect it a little bit more, you can just run over it with the microfiber cloth just to get rid of the last little annoying little bubbles that you couldn't get out with the squeegee. Once you've done that, you need to turn it off, or it should be off already, leave it off for 24 hours they say, and wait for the solution to actually dry, and then you're going to end up with a really well protected iPad 2. So that was my unboxing and installation instructions for the Zagg Invisible Shield for the back of the iPad 2. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.